Y'all, welcome back. This is Melissa here with Quilting by Heart. So I'm just coming to y'all today with another little quilty chat. We're just going to talk about what's been going on and what's going to be coming up for me and what I'm going to be working on in my sewing space. I hope all of y'all's week has started out wonderfully. I know that over the weekend we had a wonderful Easter weekend. We got to spend it in the house of the Lord. We got to be with family. Just so glad that we got to do that. Most of the time we gather at my house for celebrations, but we did actually gather at my mom's house, so that was kind of nice because my mom and my daughter did the cooking, the lion's share of the cooking. I think I made mashed potatoes and let's see, some butter beans. I made some good old southern butter beans with some bacon for seasoning, some mashed potatoes, but other than that I didn't have to cook the most of the foods. But I just wanted to pop on here and have a little chat with y'all. But I did want to share and say thank you for the positive response that I got, not only on my singing video, but on my scrappy flag quilt. So that really turned out cuter than I was expecting. I was a little worried there because, you know, when you come up with an idea on your own, sometimes it can look a little different on that graph paper than it will look in reality. But my little scrappy flag quilt, it came together pretty good, so I was thankful for that. Okay, so what I will probably be sewing next is not a quilting project. I'm not going to be doing probably any quilting later this week, but I am going to be doing some personal sewing. I want to make a couple of things. I've got a family member that's requested me to make them some aprons, and they've been asking me for a while, so I need to get around to doing that. I need to sew up a few aprons for the fellowship hall, the ladies at the church in the fellowship hall. We need some new aprons. And I thought about making me a peg apron that you put your clothespin in because it is getting summertime. For long, my allergies will be gone. When my allergies get better, I can actually hang my clothes out on the line. So I want to utilize this good southern sunshine this year and do a lot of my clothes drying this summer outside. So I need to make me a peg apron. If I'm gonna do if I'm gonna do hanging out clothes, I've got to be cute while I'm doing it. Got to have me a peg apron. So yeah, I've been looking at some peg aprons online, and there was actually a lady that did a quilted, you know, it was kind of a patchwork peg apron. If I'm not mistaken, it was patchworky. But that was kind of my idea, to maybe make the front patchworky. And I do have some older blocks that I haven't used for anything, so I might see if I could work them into my peg apron. So yeah, and if I don't use those, I can always make some more cuter ones, the colors that I want. So I'm going to insert a picture of a quilt that I'm going to be working on too, that I have all of the blocks. I have them pieced, and I've just been wondering whether or not I want to do sashing strips on it, because it would help it, I think, to have a little definition. But I don't want really wide sashing strips, but I do think it needs some sashing. So I will insert a picture. And this was my own design. I have I call it my own design. These are old quilt blocks. And what I did was just went through there's a quilter's reference tool, a little book, and it came in Sew Sampler, and it just has blocks. I also have something, it's called the Quilter's Card Deck, and it comes in a little box, you know, and you can get that at different places. I ordered mine offline, and what it is just cards that has different quilt blocks. It'll have the measurements to make a 6-inch, an 8-inch, a 10-inch, and 12-inch, on and on like that. So I just picked some blocks that I like and actually made these sampler style blocks. It's going to be a sampler style quilt, and I really like the colors. It was some Lori Holt, I think it was the cookbook fabric. It's mostly what I used. There might have been some pieces along the way that was from some Pioneer Woman fabric and maybe just different scraps that I had, but most of it was a scrap bundle from southernfabric.com. I have spoke about southernfabric.com on here before. Y'all, they have the best scrap bundles. I mean, if you are getting those end of bolt boxes from Missouri Star, which are great, you know, nothing, or the Moda scrap bags, if you're into that, you really need to check out southernfabric.com. And at the top of the little menu, you know, the little lines where you can drop down the menu. If you'll go to sales, they have scrap bags that are collections of fabric, not just random all over the place fabrics, but these are actually curated in collections. Like you can pick a Lori Holt cookbook scrap bag, or a Lori Holt Prairie scrap bag, or a Bonnie and Camille Sunday Stroll scrap bag, you know, just on like that. And I get a lot of awesome fabric. The scrap bundles are big pieces. Yeah, and they're like $12.50. You just can't beat that. You cannot beat that price. So check them out for some really great sales on some really awesome fabric. Okay, give me a drink. This is ice water today. We're not doing coffee. It's getting kind of hot, and it's later, a little bit later, so I'm doing ice water in my Temu cup. Which, by the way, I'm still really loving my Temu cup. Also, I wanted to share some Temu templates with y'all that I have purchased recently. Now, some of these I don't even know how to use. I haven't looked up all the directions for using them, but I'm going to be sharing some of those with y'all. So the first one is this is a 4-inch Drunkard's Path template, and it includes the Ebony Dance pattern. Original and unique patterns. This is what it looks like on the front. This is what the Drunkard's Path, the actual templates look like. And wow, these are thick, well-made templates. I mean, even the packaging, this package is so well-made. It's not thin plastic or anything. So it's just a really, looks like a great Drunkard's Path template. So I have never tried any circular piecing much. I might have done a little improv circular piecing maybe, but yeah, this is gonna be a little bit different. But I had saw Drunkard's Path before, and I really like the pattern. So yeah, this might be one that I try in the future. Okay, the next one I'm going to share with y'all is this little 60-degree equilateral triangle ruler. Yeah, it's just got the lines. And I actually looked this one up online. You can look up that equilateral triangle ruler. And they have so many patterns. And it's really interesting, pretty stuff that you can do with this little ruler. So, yeah, that's a possibility for the future. Now, this next ruler, I'm going to show it to you, but I have not looked into it. So I don't really know what it does. I'll have to look into it. It says it looked interesting, though. It says it is a strip ruler. And then it says double strip ruler and then half square triangle. It's just a real interesting looking piece. So, yeah. I'm going to have to look this one up. But I'm pretty sure that it's a nifty little ruler to have. I don't know exactly what it does. I don't know what the original, you know, what the name brand of this one would have done. But I'm going to be looking into that. So I'll purchase this one. I got some more of those non-slip adhesive rings. They work well. I wanted to tell y'all they do work well. There are the little tiny ones. It has the 15 small and the 15 large. These work well on the back of your rulers. It doesn't add any bulk to the ruler much, and it does give you a better grip on the surface. So I picked up some more of those. I think I had bought those, not realizing I had double ordered, but I'm glad that I did buy some more of those. Okay, these are slotted trim rulers for half square triangles. I did quickly look. It's the trimmer A. It's the larger one. It goes up to a 6.5, looks like, inch triangle. And this was the trimmer B. And it goes up to a 6-inch. So these are the whole inches. And these are the half inches. Like, you know, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. And this is the whole inches, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has even the little places where you trim off, you know, the bunny ears, the little bunny ears there and everything. So I picked up those. I'm hoping that I'll get some use out of these when I figure out how to use them. I have watched some people use them. So I'm going to be trying it at some point myself. Okay, that was really nice. Now, this one is the Wonky Log Cabin trim ruler. So that's what this would be, is the Wonky Log Cabin trim ruler. It's got the little diagram that shows you the Wonky Log Cabin. So yeah, I picked that one up. Not really for sure about this one. Yeah, I got that one though. Okay, now this next one that I've got is the Bonnet Sue templates. And I love traditional blocks, and there is hardly anything more traditional than a Bonnet Sue. I mean, she was just everywhere back in the 20s and the 30s, Bonnet Sue, and I guess it was Overall Bill was the little guy. But these are so nice. I haven't took the plastic off of them. They've got that nice, you know, the plastic covering to protect them. And it looks kind of hazy. If you ever get a ruler like this and you think, I can't see through it, if you'll feel, there is actually a coating on them of plastic that they package them with, keep them from breaking in transit and protect them, that you can actually see it just peels off. And you have the clear template. Okay, so I got the pieces for the Bonnet Sue. There's her little bonnet. There's her dress. And these are such nice pieces. And they make a really big block. It would not take very much. This is the little foot that goes with Bonnet Sue. And there's her little hand. Her little arm. And it come with some extra pieces. I thought these were really cute that you could applique a little butterfly or a little heart with your Bonnet Sue. You know I love the heart. So, yeah, and I thought about, you know, it wouldn't take very many blocks, and especially if you was to make just a plain block with her, or maybe a simple 4-patch beside her, it wouldn't take very many of them, and you would have a really nice size quilt, because that is it makes a big, it's more than a 12-inch square block. It would be more like probably a 13 or 13.5-inch square block to really, you know, have a little bit of border around it and all. So I'm just looking forward to using that. I have already, I wished I'd have brought it with me so I wished I'd have got it out and showed y'all the little tester block that I made out of some of my scraps. So, and I'm getting used to using the heat and bond, you know, for the applique. I was wondering, though, if that's the only way to applique, if you couldn't, like, just sew around it. Do you have to use the heat and bond when you do stuff like Bonnet Sue? You can tell that I'm new to any type of applique work. I'm just new. But I was looking online, seeing if you can do it any other way than with the heat and bond, because not only would that get kind of expensive, but I'm not sold on the way that it makes your quilt stiff. I don't know, maybe the heat and bond would soften as it was washed. If you were to wash it a lot, maybe those pieces would soften up some, but I don't like that stiff, starchy feel, because you can tell, this is an old quilt. I like to use quilts. We like to use quilts at my house. And the last little thing, this is not really a quilting template. Oh, there's actually 2 more little things that I wanted to show you. I ordered some more of the quilt stencils that I had shown you before. These are just in different patterns. And this would come in really handy if you were a hand quilter, or you were just getting into hand quilting. Maybe even the big stitch hand quilting, this would be something you could use with that. And that's these quilting templates that you can mark. I guess you could mark these with a, you know, a water erasable pen. I would be careful and test it, though, to make sure it will come off. But there's this little pattern. It's just the Baptist fan motif. I love the Baptist fan motif. Okay, and this one would be more like a cathedral windows. Yeah, that is so pretty. This would be kind of like an orange peel, I guess you would call that. Looks kind of like an orange peel to me. And this would be just your regular wavy lines. This is probably my least favorite one. But these others would make such a great hand quilting pattern on a quilt. And the last thing was just something that I bought on a whim, and I think I'm going to have fun with them, though. I love to create any type of home decor. I love barn quilts, things of that nature. So I got these little quilt templates, and these are actually stencils for painting. And they have just different little quilt blocks. And I thought it would be so cute to, you know, have a big piece of wood, get my husband to cut me a big piece of plywood and smooth it out and just put these in a quilt pattern on that plywood. And it was just so many pretty stencils. Or you could use them individually on a smaller piece of wood, you know, just for decor purposes. I thought these were really nice quilty stencils. So I picked some of them up. And I'm going to see what fun I can have making some little decor pieces. Love to do stuff like that. And all. But yeah, so this has been me about my my scrappy flag quilt. I don't know. I had thought maybe about trying to coffee or tea dye it to give it a grungy effect. But I'm not really decided yet on that, because my off-white rose that I was using in the place of the white on my flag did turn out rather dark. They are kind of dark themselves. So I don't know if I absolutely want to make it much darker than it actually is. But I still would like to try, you know, the coffee or the tea dyeing. I saw Lori Holt do that. Actually gave me the idea. She did it on some linen to that you would cross stitch on. Was it Lori Holt that did it? It was either Lori Holt or some other stitchers that's online that actually used the coffee and the tea and stuff to dye the linen, and it gave it that old, you know, kind of grungy look. And that's really what I'd like to have on that piece. But we'll see about that. That's for a later time. But yeah, I hope that you're getting lots of quilts finished, lots of quilting done. Maybe you're having fun in your sewing space. Maybe you're doing your spring cleaning. I know that in other parts of the country, it's been really cold, and they're just now getting their spring. Alabama is well into spring. I mean, spring's almost a thing in the past. We're fixing to hit summer in Alabama. So, yeah. But anyways, I have enjoyed coming on here and talking to y'all today. And until next time when we're doing something quilty, this has been Melissa here at Quilting by Heart. If you like my video, you can give me a thumbs up. You can always leave me a comment. You can share. You can subscribe to my channel. I'm thinking about starting up my Instagram again. I had kind of let my Instagram go by the wayside, but I'm thinking about maybe trying to start up an Instagram account again and get some Quilting by Heart stuff on Instagram. But until next time when we're doing something else, this has been me here at Quilting by Heart. And I just hope y'all have a blessed week. We'll see y'all later. Bye.